G'day everyone, welcome to the theopalmills channel. Start with, just want to acknowledge, I know I'm well over 1,000 subscribers now, and I'd wanted to organise a bit of a giveaway for that. So I'm in the process of still organising that because I've been so busy, not complaining, but getting a lot of other things done like the claim. And yeah, working out a few other things that I can't reveal just yet. Heading back to Andamooka next week and back up the claim, start digging, do another live stream up there. Yeah, quite a few things, but for this video I've brought something back again from Andamooka, and it's, for me, again, something different. So this is what they call the concrete matrix, and it just comes, and it's very much like a concrete. It literally got the granules of rock all the way through it, here and there, and this is the stuff that it will get treated as matrix, usually does, and this will need a resin coat. Now, since I don't want to actually end up with a coating over it, I want to be able to have it soak in and then polish it back again. So we're going to experiment a bit while we go about doing this, but I'm just going to organise some water. Okay, also there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about all of the damage I've incurred over the last week. One for every syllable. So yeah, that's as good as that's going to get. My apologies in advance. Anyway, water, and here is the concrete, and you can sort of see a bit of the colour coming through there. Bit of the green to you. There we go. I can see it a little bit more in person. I can also see other colours up here. Bit of an orange. Hopefully that's a good sign. And here more. There we go. So we know there's colour in there, but when we look down here, this bottom section has no colour, so that sort of has to just go. And as you can see, there's sort of bits of mudstone and that. Some stuff can be found in amongst all this, so you don't just discredit. Even fossils apparently can be found on these little starfish imprints. I'd love to be able to come across something like that. Got some bigger bits I haven't looked at yet. There's a little bit of this to get through, but yeah, thought we'll just start with this piece for demonstration, as it's small enough to fit in demonstration purposes bucket. So we're going to sit it in there, let it soak for a little second. Now we can sort of see a bit better all that colour up in there, like little lightning coming through it. And it's not very strong, unfortunately, you think. There we go, a bit better. But this hasn't been chipped back yet. So this has kind of got like a filmy, sandy, gritty skin over it. Just gonna go give it a little quick chip and I'll come back and show you. Alright, try not to be too wasteful. I've just sort of tapped it on the side here. And so yeah, that's the colour that you can see from outside it. And you can see that that colour gets a little bit stronger inside there, just a bit, which is enough to say, yep, once treated, it should be pretty bright enough to see. So then we've got to start breaking it down and cutting it up. So I've worked on one bit just to give a head start on this to show you what sort of we're looking at. So I've cut a stone. Now, when it was wet, I could see a lot of what was going on, and dry, you got no chance, which is why this will need the treatment and the resin coat to give it that wet polished look. So we'll just go in here. See if I can get it to flush up. So there we go. Starting to see some nice flashes. They're a little bit more intense with the brighter light. It should be a nice little stone once it's treated. And the benefit of these is this is a cheaper matrix because of all the treatment that has to be to become a stone. It's not natural as far as the steps of being treated. There we go. As far as the acid to darken it, and then with the resin coating. So it's not solid, you know, natural. It's definitely had treatments. And so it gets a lesser value, but that's okay because it's going to look fantastic, and it still has a value, don't get me wrong. And some jewellery can be made out of it that's more affordable with opal. It is opal, there's no two ways about that. And yeah, I haven't dabbled in this before, so I'm giving it a go. I'm keen to see what all sorts of matrices I can come across and what I can do with it. It's also thinking with the size of some of these bits, I might make a chessboard. Yeah, later video upcoming. It's going to take a bit. But yeah, we're going to give this stuff a treat and see what it turns out like. So I'm going to give this another dry out. But I'm also going to start cleaning a piece up. Yeah, we might as well use this piece. And clean the bottom off, see what's left, and yeah, see what can come out of it. So it's got a bit of a, so this one, I don't know, this one doesn't have it. No, that's all good. I thought it had a crack in it. That's another piece I was looking at. Just a fracture is in. So yeah, I'll get to drying this out and we'll go and clean this up. See why they call it concrete. Still got a bit of a thick layer down here of nothingness. So, after nearly starting several small fires, with the amount of sparks coming off it, I've just whittled it down a bit. Now I might be able to just fit it through my saw from here, I think. And that way I can break it down into pieces that I can then run through the saw. So we're going to mark out some directions for cut and cut. So I was not expecting that when I got into it. I thought, yep, it's nice colour in there, and it'll be nice, but wow, that's fantastic. I love that pattern. Sidestepping pattern, green to red, like a zipper from red and green. Got a bit more water. So I can cut some both ways if I wanted. As far as sideways through some and lengthways through some. With the grain across the grain, if you will. So I'm going to take this piece and take this bottom off, so it does not need to stay on there, and we'll see what's under there. Alright, so I've taken the bottom down, so the bars sit across it, above it, sorry, and there's a bit of this stuff still on the bottom, bit of a flaw there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've got a little stain there too. Yeah, so oh, there we go. That's what you can expect off of that face. Give it a quick rinse off. But this is the side I want to see. So I'm going to clean this up on the wheel. Take this side down a bit too. We'll do all that after. That's got to come off anyway. That's virtually the base. Still got to come down through there. It's on a bit of an angle. So yeah, over to the wheel. For practicality, I've just cut it down a bit. I'll make it a little bit easier to work on in one hit. So we're going to start taking this top down, clean this edge up. See what's underneath. At this point, I'm going to start slicing this through, and hopefully we're going to get a stronger side that side, because I don't want to just keep pulling that down and go through it. That's starting to be a nice for a back at least. Let's see what the front's going to look like. Okay, so a bit further analysis. Split it open, and she's got a nice little rock in the middle. Rather than cut it down and move it around, and since it's green, like predominantly, I do like this side better. So we'll see if we can work on this side. And we'll have that one, or that. And that one. And so these will be the test subjects for today, for the treat that we're going to do. And just going to wear them on the wheel a bit, get them into a nice shape. Okay, I almost forgot. On top of these, I cut some this way as well to play around with. See what that pattern turns out like as well. So anyway, let's get on with it. So that's got me to the stage I want on that wheel. I'm not going to take it down further. It's a bit rough. But a nice little dome starting to take effect. Still a bit more off this bit. This next wheel is going to take a fair bit off too. So I don't want to go down too far yet. And leave room for the next wheel. Change wheel. We go. get over the black pad, start getting it pre-polished up to a whatever best I can with it polish, and then into the treatment. Number one done. So I'll get a few more of these done as well, and I'll come back. So here we go. I've done a few, got a few stones, and I'm just going to go through them, and we're going to do a comparison as is. I'll do a wet one. I'll have to go dry them back out again. We're going to get them into the solution. We'll take it out of the solution, do a comparison, and then into the acid and do another comparison once I get it out. And then we'll have to figure out how I'm going to go about sealing these. So I'm really impressed with the colour in these too. It's sort of coming through a little bit, and that's not bad for a very dull stone. I'll start down here with these two. They're okay. It's a bit of green flashes in them. Sort of nice little matching pair, sort of. One's a bit bigger than the other, I think. No, I think that's sort of, oh, yeah, this top one here. It's a little bit thinner. Just a smidge. The right setting will hide that. So there's those two. I'll give one a wet, do a comparison. So you can see the colour comes out a lot more visible for what's there on this one. And once the treatment blackens the stone, I think, yeah, it'll stand out an enormous amount more. This one's not so much. I think this side would have been better for this one, but it had a big stone in it, so I cut the other side. I should have cut smaller ones with that. Oh well, it's a nice back. And here's these three that I cut. So I'm pretty sure it would have been, this is how they would have been cut from the same piece. And that was the top bar. And so, again, for the comparison, oh, now I've got them wet it. Yep. Don't spoil it. I cut some this way. So, just have a quick look at this one. And that's it dry. I did take it up to the black pad. So it's got a little bit of a polish over it. It's a nice colour in this one. That's the back. The front's got lots of orange and green all through it. A little bit of red and purples hints as well. And again, once this blackens, it's going to look fantastic. So, and there's these ones. Again, give them wet. Sort of skip through these ones a bit more. But yeah, these ones I think I like the pattern better, especially that blue. But it yeah, faces a lot better than the other ones, I think. This way. And that pattern's pretty cool. It's like lightning. Or the zipper. Yeah, I said that before. Just dry my hands. So again, as you can sort of see a bit of colour, pretty strong on this one. And that's dry. And that's wet. He's got nice medium, low to medium domes on them. Can't wait to see how dark these end up. So this one my dad started cutting, and just tidied it up a little bit more with a bit of a shape, gave it a even cut again. But he found that in a piece, and it's like, wow. Can't wait to see that once it's cooked. Every bit lights up at some stage, even though it's a dead spot there when that happens. It lights up in there anyway. At some point or other. A little bit of yellowy hint to it down around here. then this one I really like. You sort of see the colour there coming through. Jump the camera. Where are we? So nice rolling flush. It does continue all the way down the side. Nice rolling flush on that, and a flood of colour there. But yeah. Again, can't wait to see it cooked. So, gonna go dry these out again, and then heat them. Actually, I might just heat them as is, and get them ready for the Ribena. Yeah, I really like that orange. So, on with it. Okay, time has come. I'm gonna remove these and get them ready for the acid. Alright, so I've just noticed my fancy jar here with the holes. You have to keep an eye on your equipment, but yeah, there's a crack running all the way around through there, from hole to hole, and just past. So I can't use this anymore. That whole bottom's about to come out. I don't want to hold it when it does. So I'm going to put that aside and introduce new handy dandy replacement. A couple more holes in another jar. So that'll be our jar for today. Alright, so here's what we have. Some of these you recognise from a prior treat, which would be like this one. Let's just go in for a second one, see if we can get that to set in a bit deeper. And then some of these, that colour came out quite well, but I'd like to see them treated a bit longer. See what happens. So here's our new batch and the old batch. So we'll get this into the jar, and then the acid's already on the heat. So we'll head over there. Alright, now they're just going to sit there until they're ready. Okay, so moment of truth. I've had this in the acid for a few days and about to see what's happened. So I'm just going to go through straining this and neutralising it, and we'll get a good look at it. Bring these over here. Tip these in here. Some more bicarb soda, so we can safely handle it while it's still bubbling a slight amount. But I want to have a look. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to get in there any further than that. I think it got in definitely a bit more. So these bits were the ones I did sort of second treat. That looks a bit better. I'll zoom in a bit more. Nice bit of colour in that. This one went in for a retreat as well. Yeah, it's definitely going to shade darker for sure. Should have filmed this one. I sort of got it handed to me for the treat since I was doing the treats. Can I put this one in too? So I did. I forgot to film it. It's probably on one of those last treatment videos. It's quite darker now. That looks amazing actually. What it was, because it looked like a bit paler in the center. But that's darkened up quite well. That's pretty. So this stuff's a hard matrix as well, as compared to the concrete I've just done. Look at that one or this one. I've already seen that one. So this one was another one for the retreat. Wow, that's definitely come out much more interesting looking. Just colour all through that. Impressed. Very good here. I think that was one as well. And yeah, this one didn't take too much of a treat. It's definitely more noticeable in the colour now it's treated. So yeah, different porosities, different penetration, and sometimes a second treat helps, or a third, I'm finding. Nice bit of colour on that. And that was the other one. Yeah, right. Don't mind the look of that at all. I think that was it for those ones. And the rest is, yeah, the ones I cut recent. Or is this one? Yeah, I think that's the concrete. Yep. It's just that it feels quite hard and smooth. I don't think I polished the concrete up that much. Maybe I did with this one. This was the first one I cut out. Not a super amount of colour in it, but it's got some nice hues. But yeah, the rest of this definitely what I've just done in the last treatment. Just try and wipe off some of the excess. So it took quite a well treatment. Went dark. If you remember, the colour this starts out. So yeah, it's definitely got a shade darker. And yeah, a bit of pin fire in that. So some of these I cut one way, some I cut the other. This is one of the first pieces I did. Finally see all the orange in it now. It's definitely directional. flash around and give nice colours as it bounces around on a pendant. Movement helps play a colour when people are noticing that. Oh yeah, Dad got on the one and I sort of trimmed it up for him, so here you go Dad, this is that one. Gave it a nice shape for you. But he found some really beautiful colour in that one. Great flashes. Very interesting looking stuff. Let's start off with the smaller ones. So yeah, I like the look of that. And again, these are reasonably cheap. It's still Opal. It's taken a lot more effort to get it to what it is, yet it's cheaper. Oh well, yeah, fantastic. Wow, it's a nice colour in that one. Very sort of Easter egg wrapping, sort of, you know, that metallic brightness. And these ones are not so directional, so these ones you can sort of see colour from pretty much any angle. How did this one turn out? I think that one was cut across the bar. There's a bit of colour in there. And so here's the ones that were, how was it cut this way up? Something like that. From the one piece, that was the bottom piece. You couldn't quite see all that colour in there. You could see a little bit of it and what its potential was going to be. But yeah, well, I didn't even notice that there was this much colour in it, so I'm a bit happier with that for what it turned out to be. So I thought the colour was running out down there. This one turned out alright. Again, probably should have cut it that way, but it had that big black bit there, so I cut it that way. Oh well, it's got a nice back. And here we go. This one I'm kind of happy with. Lots of colour in that one. And I think these could even go in for another treatment yet and see what else we can get them to come up like. But that's a fantastic start. Again, just a contrast. So yeah, these still have to have the final, what would you call it, resin coat, final treatment. So I'll do that in another video, and end this one here and put this one up, because a couple of days, heading away, go do some mining again. So I'm sort of just wrapping up a couple of things here. Yeah, quite pleased with the results of these. So anyway, I make some nice pendants, large stones. You don't get that in your expensive Opal affordably. So to have a stone this size, it's fantastic. And where's my ruler? I'll give these a quick measure. You're looking at 36 mil. About 28. 36 by 28. Rather a large stone. So there we are. I'll yeah, as I said, get onto the resining. I'll do that in another video, and I'll get a whole lot more of this stuff cut. I'll be making parcels of this available. In the middle of ordering some new blades so I can cut it all up. I'm a bit of a standstill with the slicing at the moment. Last blade gave up the ghost, so yeah, hopefully by next week I'll get all that sorted. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. Cheers.